Thank you for stopping to watch my video today. I want to teach as many U.S. investors, U.S. business owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, U.S. franchise owners, and also 1099 income owners how they can save taxes legally. So few people have ever heard of the Spendthrift Trust. It's legal, it's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It comes from England way back when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, started the Church of England. Hey, murder a few wives, start a church. Why not? Who cares? He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England. They went back to the 13th century, the Magna Carta, and said, oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came from England to the colonies while we were still part of England. The law firm I work on behalf of inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023. So we're almost into 2026, so it's going to be 353 years old. Our current tax structure that we are under here in the United States went into effect February of 1913. It's only supposed to be around for a few years, but unfortunately the United States got involved in World War I. The super rich families of 1913, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we can save taxes. Thank you for coming here. My name is Sally Gimmon. I'm the owner of www.thetrustisyou.com, where you'll get a masterclass and can set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me. I also have a masterclass on the Great Discovery. My first name, Sally, my last name, GIMON.com, where you'll get a masterclass. You'll get 3 articles from Forbes magazine. You'll get 2 pages of case law so you can research it to your heart's content, and examples of clients saving thousands of dollars. So let me tell you a little bit about the law firm I work for. It was started 77 years ago by a Harvard law professor. He wrote 5 specific trusts to save specific taxes. We're going to talk about 2 of them today. The first one we're going to talk about is the Beneficial Trust for all U.S. investors. The second trust we're going to talk about is going to be the Business Trust for all U.S. business owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and U.S. 1099 income earners. The other 3 trusts, so you know about them, there's a charitable trust, if you're a 501c3 company. There's the Mineral Rights Trust. I've only sold one of those. One of my Beneficial Trust clients inherited his granddad's horse farm in Oklahoma. On the horse farm, there are 6 oil wells that produce income. That goes through the Mineral Rights Trust. And finally, there's a senior trust for anyone over 65 who's incapacitated. Maybe they had a stroke, maybe they had a dementia or something else. So let's get into the Beneficial Trust, or going back. The law firm was started by Paul Benson. Unfortunately, he's passed away. Now his grandson and great-grandson run the law firm. They defend everybody who has a trust. In 77 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. They're so confident in what they do, they're going to, if you get questioned by the IRS, they will defend you free of charge. In 77 years, it's happened one time only, and they won. Now, my personal story, so you have it. My watershed month was October 2018. 3 major things happened for me. I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona, working as a Medicare broker. My oldest nephew is getting married in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 27th, 2018. I had time saved up, and I requested the Friday before the wedding and the Monday after the wedding off, and I was denied. Because if you know anything about Medicare, open enrollment is from October 5th to December 7th. Anybody can change their policies. Didn't like working as a Medicare broker and liked it even less. Second thing that happened, my 3-week-old Hyundai Velastra with a moonroof, you need that in Phoenix at night. I'm driving to work to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning on a major east-west road, Indian School. I'm the second car through in a green light when some idiot runs a red light, T-bones me on my passenger side, and Mr. Idiot had no insurance. Duh. I'm all of a sudden upside down on my car payment, my car's totaled, and I need to get a second vehicle. I go from being comfortable to eating ramen noodles twice a week just like I did in college. I'm 53 years old. What the heck? This is not supposed to be happening. And the third thing that happened, my mom and dad, who lived in Goodyear, Arizona, 25 miles west of Phoenix on I-10, drove from Goodyear to Charlotte for the wedding. My father calls me Thursday before the wedding saying my mom's in the emergency room. He's not sure what's wrong. Don't change my flight. I fly out. I do a red eye Friday night before the wedding. Land at 7:20 in the morning in Charlotte. My dad and my two nephews are there to meet me. Family tradition, we go out to IHOP for breakfast. My two nephews go home back to the house. And my dad takes me to the hospital to see my mom. I walk in on the priest giving my mom last rites. I was not ready for that. It ended up she had septic of the blood, or blood poisoning. It got into her pacemaker. They had to do open heart surgery to take out her old pacemaker and put in a new pacemaker. She was on the ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months, and thank God she got better and came home. My dad stayed with my mom in Charlotte for 9 months. I'm going out to their house every weekend to do the mail because my dad was supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. First week of December, there was a letter that was 27 pages thick. So my mom's Medicare statement for going to the emergency room and 1 month on the ventilator is $72,000. Nothing to worry about. My dad's retired military. He has TRICARE for life. Everything's being paid for. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I have a mortgage. I have student loans because I got my master's degree. I have 2 car payments and only 1 vehicle. I have credit card debt. I hate my job, and I need to change my life. My friend Glenn had invited me to a real estate meeting back in August of 2018, and I told him I have to put it on hold during open enrollment. I call him right there from my mom and dad's kitchen. He's like, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a Christmas potluck dinner. Bring a $5 gift and some food and meet my fellow real estate investors. Well, I knew Glenn and Rhonda, but I didn't know anybody else. And I'm like, why not? I got nothing to lose. It was the best decision of my life. At that party, I met my mentor. And in 2019, with my mentor, I wholesaled 7 bank properties nationwide. Woohoo! I'm a rock star in my real estate group. I paid off all my debt. I had $50,000 in my bank account for short-term capital gains. And I actually got 3 notes where I'm the paper in the house. People pay me their mortgage. I thought I knew what I was doing. Fast forward. My mom's better. She's out of the hospital. We canceled a major St. Patrick's Day party March 17th, 2020 because of COVID. April 1st of 2020, my 3 notes did not pay me. Hey, if people don't have to pay their mortgages, they don't have to pay the Bank of Sally. No, I'm not Bank of America. And then on April 4th, 2020, my CPA calls me and congratulates me to tell me my tax bracket went from 22% to 24%, and I now owe the federal government $94,000 in short-term capital gains, and I have no money coming in. Whew, it was not a good day. Now, this is a freebie. A great book to read is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. He says, put a thought into your head before you go to sleep, and you'll have have it all worked out. Wake up the next morning, April 5th, 2020. I know I'm going to get a HELOC off my paid-off house. Defeats the purpose of being paid off. And I remembered I read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. It's 7 generations old and has 400 people under the same EIN number. It took me 5 months to research this, and I started working for the law firm that I now work for. I started both my business and my beneficial trust September 2020. The gentleman who sold them to me, I said, I want to teach this in my real estate group here in Phoenix. I became his affiliate. Every Thursday night for 18 months, I did a live mastermind, teach people how to save money on taxes. Unfortunately, I called him on a Thursday. He tells me he's not feeling too good. He's going to send me an email with the information I need. Didn't get it. Call him on a Tuesday. A woman answers his phone, and she says he died on Saturday in the hospital with a ruptured appendix. Whoa, I thought my cash cow was gone. At least I have the trust, and I don't have to worry about paying taxes on any of my real estate. That Thursday, that was on a Tuesday, Thursday after, the law firm calls me and says, you've been working with Ron. You know how to do this. We want to make you a direct affiliate of our law firm. Well, March of 2022, I started www.thetrustisyou.com, and started my own business. I now help U.S. investors no longer pay taxes on any of their profits with the Beneficial Trust. Now, before I get into that, the 4 ways you're going to save, 4 very important ways. Number 1, you're going to save federal and state income taxes year after year, generation after generation. Number 2, you're going to keep your information 100% private. When I became a real estate investor, they told me to get an LLC for each one of my properties. No one told me anyone could go online to either the Secretary of State or the Corporation Commission and research it by your name, by your LLC or S Corp name. 40% of LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps get sued every year. The trust is on the federal level. LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps are on the state level, so the trust will not hold them. I shut down 6 LLCs, and so I don't have to do K-1s on March 15th to put into my 1040 tax return on April 15th. My taxes are so much cheaper now. So you're going to keep your information completely private. Number 3, talking about lawsuits. All lawsuits become frivolous and go away. I can't stop you from being sued, but if you do get sued, you just send the first page of the trust to the attorney. They're not going to come after you because you can't get blood from a stone. And number 4, you're going to leave a legacy for future generations and only have to pay for the trust one time only and nothing else. It's an amazing document. So the Beneficial Trust is going to save the following 5 taxes year after year, generation after generation. You will no longer pay short-term capital gains that are just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%, depending on your profits, and affect you if you wholesale, you fix and flip, you do auction houses, tax liens, sell crypto, do options trading, or if you're a Forex investor. My first auction house in the trust, I paid $20,000 for. I knew it was going to go to auction for $50,000. That spread, $30,000 at 24%, would be $7,110. When it finally went to auction, August 21st, 2021, it went up to over $64,000. Yes, without lifting a hammer, I got to make $44,000. I love to invest that way. And because at 24%, I got to save $10,368. That I will never have to pay back again, and I put into more real estate. Long-term capital gains are a year or more and are either 15 or 20% when you sell your business, you sell an investment property, or you sell a baseball card. To give you an idea, one of my clients sold a family restaurant, a 42-year-old family restaurant. He and his 2 brothers actually built the restaurant. Good for them. They were selling it as is for $3 million. At 15%, he and his wife didn't have to pay, now I'm going to forget the number, $450,000, and at 20%, they wouldn't have to pay $600,000. The wife knew about the trust. She didn't know how much they were going to save. She calls me and she goes, what if one of us has cancer? What if one of us has a heart attack? We now have money to afford to be retired. Second tax you'll no longer pay, interest income taxes. Again, taxed just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. It affects you if you have passive income, if you're in mutual funds, if you're in a REIT, if you're doing subject to real estate, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy. I personally have notes. You're doing creative financing, seller financing, or you're a Forex investor. Yes, Forex investors, you get taxed twice, capital gains and interest income taxes. You need the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. Third tax you'll save, dividend income taxes. If you're in the stock market, you're a day trader, you're a futures trader, you're a commodities trader, or you're living off of dividends, you can save taxes over and over again. One of my clients, he's 70, she's 68. They contacted me because they wanted to save dividend income taxes. I asked, are you paying the surcharge on Medicare for parts B and D? He had no idea. His wife said, yes, we're paying over $490 per month each person for the surcharge. What happens? Every October, the IRS goes back 2 years. So October 2025, they look at 1040 tax returns to see who's on Medicare. And if you're single and making more than $106,000, everything added together, you get surcharge. Or if you're married and make more than $212,000, you get surcharge. The trust, I don't care if it's the business trust or the beneficial trust, you file a 1041 tax return, and that surcharge goes away. So besides no longer paying dividend income taxes, I got them to save over $600 per month for the two of them on Medicare surcharge. They still had to pay the $185 a month. An amazing thing. Fourth tax you're going to save, rental income taxes. If you're a real estate investor, yes, you can move a property with a depreciation schedule into the trust. Yes, you can move a property with a cost averaging into the trust because you're going to keep your information completely private. And if the renter's dog gets out and bites the mailman, they can't come after you. So if you have short-term rentals like Airbnb, vacation rentals, maybe you have 3 doors, 5 doors, 10 doors, 20 doors, 100 doors. Maybe you're multifamily, vacation, maybe you're in apartment buildings, maybe you're doing Airbnb arbitrage, or you have commercial property. It's an amazing document. And the final tax you'll save with the Beneficial Trust is royalty income taxes. They're taxed a little bit less, between 10% to 35%, 7 different layers. And affect you if you're an actor, an actress, a musician, an author, an artist. Maybe you have NFTs, you have copyrights, patents, or royalties. Robin Williams, the late great actor, had the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. Yes, he committed suicide, but now his 3 adult children pay no royalties on any of his works. And he's a funny guy. That's the Beneficial Trust for all investors. Now let's switch gears to the Business Trust. This is for any and all U.S. business owners, franchisee owners, entrepreneurs, and 1099 income earners. You are going to save at least 90% on federal income taxes yearly, and in 43 states no longer pay state income taxes. Just to give you an idea of something that I have accomplished, I helped a Virginia salesman who in 2024 made $150,000 at 1099 income. He called me on January 3rd of 2025 and was planning on making more than that in 2025. And I said, let's just use $150,000 to give you an idea. Saving 90% on federal income taxes and no longer paying 5.5% Virginia state income taxes, he got to save $34,985. He was paying his taxes monthly, so he's going to save per month in 2025 $2,882. He can put that back into his business. He could pay off his mortgage. He could buy a new vehicle. He could take his family on vacation. He could give to his favorite charity, or he could save for retirement. Ladies, he's single. He was in the military. He works for a defense contractor. He drives a 10-year-old car, and he lives in an apartment with 2 roommates. His plans, in 2026, he's going to take the $34,000 he saved and put it as a down payment on a house in Northern Virginia. Congratulations to him. I just got to talk to a gentleman today who's in Texas. They do not have state income taxes. He's a contractor. With him doing 2026 taxes, we're going to save him over $62,000 a year. When I said, what would you do with that money? He goes, the number one thing he's going to do, he's going to hire a VA to start answering the phones so his wife no longer has to do that. Because I'm going to get hot, warm meals every single night when I come home. If you want to find out more, I have a free masterclass at www.thetrustisyou.com. I'm also going to show you how to set up a free 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me. It's just a conversation. I'm going to take you out to NerdWallet to show you the formula and how much you'll save every single year. There's no obligation for this at all. I also want to tell you about my free class and the Great Discovery, www.sallygimmon.com. If you want to learn the secret of the rich, please go to either www.thetrustisyou.com or www.sallygimmon.com. Learn the secret of the rich and learn how you can save taxes legally. Oh, I forgot to tell you this, so I'll tell you this now. Yes, your CPA or your financial advisor is probably going to tell you about the August 3rd, 2028 memo from the IRS, where they specifically say they do not like Tax Code 643B. They do not like the Irrevocable Complex Discretionary Non-Grantor Spendthrift Trust. It's a memo, people. It's only a memo. The tax code is tax law. Only Congress can change the tax code. It's their opinion. In my opinion, the worst vegetable in the world is lima beans. My mom loved them. Ugh. So if your CPA or a financial advisor says, I'm lying, I tell them I can introduce you to somebody at the law firm that can tell you about the 77-year history that my law firm has been offering the 5 different spendthrift trusts. Again, it's legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. In 77 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. If you get questioned by the IRS, the 5 tax attorneys in the law firm will defend you free of charge. In 77 years, it's happened only one time. Learn the secret of the rich and have a beautiful New Year's. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Learn the secret of the rich and have a beautiful New Year's. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.